Hey friends, Kevin here. The difference between minivan camping and car camping. Because guess what? I did both. And I did both on month-long trips over the last few years. So I have experience with the pros and cons of this. So let's get to it. Now, little background. My first foray into a long camping trip, this was before the vans, because minivans was for soccer moms, right? I decided, hey, I'm going to have this trip of a lifetime because I haven't taken vacations for a lot of these years. I'm going to take 30 days and just go and see where I end up. Well, I left Virginia, Tennessee area, and we ended up in Wyoming. And we decided, we probably ought to turn around at this point after seeing Devil's Tower and turn around and come home. But this was done in a car. Now, I knew we were going to stay in hotels, find cheap hotels along the way, because I knew nothing about government land in the West and being able to camp places for free. I assumed the only places you could camp were in paid campgrounds, state parks, national parks, and in my head, why do I want to do that? Pay $40 to camp, because I can $10 more and go find a cheap hotel somewhere. So that was it. But we knew we'd end up in some more expensive places towards cities to where we'd have to camp to keep the budget down. So we took a little tent with us. And being a complete dummy and complete newbie with what camping, car camping, any of this stuff involved, we did okay. We had cooler for ice, and we had some food with us, and we could make it. We had what we needed. But I can remember paying $30 and $35 in a busy campground to pitch a tent. Yes, to pitch a tent. And granted, there was electricity running to it. Not that we needed it, but it was just insane. That was somewhere out near Mount Rushmore. And there were several places that were really nice that we stopped at in different parks and things. And we'd camp a day here and a day there. And but again, it was $20, $25 a night, even for those places, because again, and this is the important part, I didn't know what I was doing. So, short version, I came back from that trip after having spent a lot of money, and I thought, man, I would like to do this more, and I would like to take more of these month-long and longer trips, but I have got to get this budget down because I kept track of everything, and about $3,000 of the $5,000 that I spent on this trip was spent on hotels. So it's like, okay, I've got to find a cheaper way to do this, and that's what led me to the minivan and converting it over in van life, and then getting the bigger van later, and has led to everything that's happened in the 3 or 4 years since then. But that was my beginning. But because I do have experience taking these long trips both in a car and in a van, we'll get into some pros and cons. Pro, the car is obviously going to get better gas mileage. Now, we were in a small car, essentially a Toyota Corolla. We're getting 30, 35 miles a gallon out of that thing, and it was great to be able to run those roads in the West where you hit places with 2-lane roads that are 75 and sometimes 80 miles an hour. So compared to a minivan, which is going to get about 20 miles a gallon, maybe a little bit more if you have a newer one, you're going to have quite a bit of a difference just in gasoline on a trip like that, if you're taking a long trip. We would drive and explore and do everything in that car, and I would stop every day and fill it back up, and I'd go to top the gas tank off, and it would be $8, $12. Well, the same trip in the minivan, every day you're filling it up, it's $20, $25, and in that big white van, the same trip in it, every day it's $35, $40, $45, so there's quite a difference in fuel between 35 miles a gallon in a car and 20 in a minivan and 12 in a larger camper van. And even worse if you're in an RV, which sometimes can get down to, 7 or 8 miles a gallon. However, we weren't going to be inconveniently sleeping in the car. Granted, that can be done. And on a short trip, weekend trip, that would be all right to be sleeping in a car. Much more than that, I just don't think you're going to sleep very well. Just because you can doesn't mean you should. If you're in an even worse setup where you think you're going to lean the seat back and just be able to sleep for 8 hours, man, that ain't going to happen. You try pulling that crap 2 or 3 days in a row, you are going to be one irritable person from lack of sleep. And you're not going to enjoy adventuring in whatever you're trying to see because you're going to be wore out and grumpy. That's where the minivan comes in, because the minivan, you can have a really nice bed for one person, you can have a full-size bed for two people, and you can actually get a decent night's sleep. So for sleeping arrangements, the pro definitely goes to minivans or full-size vans or something you have converted. 3, the amount of stuff you can haul around with you. Surprisingly, there's really not that much of a difference. We don't carry much more in the minivan than we did in that car trip. When we did the car trip, that's when I got the little 2-burner stove and we got the coffee pot to go on top of it. That's basically the same stuff I put in the minivan when I did that, other than putting a nicer bed in the minivan, having the battery pack to run a nice fan in the minivan to be able to circulate air through the night. But most of the stuff that I have in the van that you've seen in those videos, most of it came from that car camping trip. So that's pretty much even. Not really a pro or con for either one. So I guess the real question is, can you do these long trips in a car? And the answer is yes. But you're going to spend a lot more money either on hotels, or you're just not going to have much comfort. Trying to sleep in these things is going to be a nightmare. If you're going to tent camp every night, then you're going to run into bad weather that's either you're going to suffer through it or it's going to chase you in your car. And again, it's different. This is what you've got to understand. It is different between going out for the weekend and pitching a tent for a couple of days and whatever happens, happens. When you're doing this for week after week after week after week on a long trip, if you don't get rest, your next day is going to be a wreck. That is just all there is to it. So you have got to be able, in whatever you're doing, to get a good night of sleep. Minivan is the hands down winner of this. And again, you can pitch a tent if you want to occasionally. That's no big deal. We carry a little tent with us in the minivan for different reasons. But just being able to be in that minivan, and it does it with a nice bed. It doesn't matter then what the weather does. It doesn't matter if it's a huge thunderstorm and lightning, and it doesn't matter if it turns into a hailstorm. It doesn't matter if the wind kicks up. You have a nice, cozy, comfortable, well-built shelter place to sleep in that minivan versus trying to do car camping and doing it a lot of times in a tent, or just being in that car and being beat to death. Because a little car like that, I can tell you, when the wind hits that thing, man, it's going to rock. It's going to rock hard. You're still not going to be sleeping through that stuff in a car. So for those of you that have done both car camping and van camping, I'd love to hear your stories and comments and things that have happened on your trips. If you put those down in the comment section, kind of get a little conversation started, because we all learn from each other, good and bad. If you've made it this far, you're wondering what to watch next, of course, go down in the description. You'll see links to all the recent videos. See if there's anything you missed that you're interested in. We'll talk soon.